Let me just welcome Mr. Arif Iqbal, who is the CEO of LAAM and has more than 15 years of experience in engineering and technology. Friends. We are very delighted to have you, and please come to the stage. Thank you.
Walaikum assalam.
Cool. No. I'm Arif Iqbal. I'm one of the co-founders, CEO of LAAM. And before the slide deck starts, very quickly, some of you might know what LAAM is, but with LAAM, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to bring together the entire South Asian fashion under one umbrella. We started this journey almost like 2.5, 3 years ago. And in that time period, we have been able to bring a lot of Pakistani fashion together. And now that fashion is being consumed and discovered by people in more than 200 countries. So, and we have a team, we have a pretty good solid team in Pakistan, all based in Pakistan, all Pakistani products that we are very, very excited about. So I'm going to talk you through what I've done in my life before starting now, walk you through the journey of how LAAM came into being, like how it's really started, and then walk you through some of the product and tech journey that we had. And we would love to take questions if anybody has around it. Cool. Very quickly about me, I like to describe myself as somebody who loves to build impactful consumer products. My journey has been, I'm fortunate enough, almost like 15 years ago, to be part of the founding team of Microsoft Bing search engine. Even today, if you go to Bing.com, if somehow Google is not working, and you have to go to Bing, and you type any query there, and the top results show up, there is still quite a bit of my code and my work running, which is figuring out what are the right relevant links that we need to show, whether we need to trigger images or news or comments for that query. So it was a fun time. We were naive enough to think we would beat Google, but it took us 4 years, 5 years to realize we cannot. So I moved on. And then I moved on to something which is which was one of the fun times of my life because I realized that the impact that marketplaces can have on the community itself. I was part of the the early team that built eBay's Seattle office. At eBay, I was leading code like their machine learning and AI team that determined what are the products that consumers should view. But one thing that I learned and realized at eBay, I think they had more than 2 million unique active sellers who are making a livelihood out of eBay. So I have really good experience of learning about how marketplaces can have an impact on so many people's lives. Then I had started my career by doing my own startup before Microsoft hired me, so I thought it's time to jump on to another one. So I joined Pinterest. Pinterest was making $0 back then. So I was part of the team that was like, okay, we should make some money along with a really amazing consumer product that Pinterest was. So I launched Pinterest, promoted Pin's product, and by the time I left Pinterest, we were already making $100 million. So it was interesting to take a product from $0 I spent a good chunk of my life at Facebook. I know there's a lot of news going on yesterday, 11,000 layoffs, but I saw the company. I joined Facebook Seattle office when we were 200 people. I left Facebook Seattle office when we were 9,500 people. So saw massive growth of the company during the phase I was there. Some of the products, people who use Facebook that I worked on, if you ever search any query again and you see the results, there is still quite a bit of my work that show the relevance and the results that you see. If some of you might show pages you may like, friends you may want to add to your network, groups you may want to join. That's all the recommendation work I did there. And I was part of the team that again Mark Zuckerberg created. It was a very hidden team at the start that we were to launch Facebook and Instagram shops. And that was the last thing I worked at Facebook before I left. And I want to quickly talk about like why I thought I need to leave, why I thought I need to start this. So, Amir, one of my co-founders, is actually sitting here in the audience, and Amir was a guy in the Pakistani fashion industry. He was trying to help some of the fashion brands go digital. And I was like his brother, like family tech guy who's gonna be the consultant. And whenever like I talk to Amir, I realize the digital journey for a brand for a designer is just way too tough. It's super hard for them to do online because of the tools available, because of the technology available. So I have been observing this for more than 5 years. And the other thing I've been observing, like someone Pakistani expat living in US, one of the things I was observing is that the entire community around me was always talking about कि मेरी खाला मुझे कोई कपड़े भिजवाएगी या मैं पाकिस्तान travel करूंगा then I'm going to buy something. So one of the things that I could always see is that there are so many people who are interested in discovering fashion, in discovering our like South Asian clothing. I'm talking about both Pakistanis and even Indians. Some of my colleagues in all these companies I talked about, they all know they had the exact same problem. They could not really discover fashion. So I think one thing that really hit me was there are more than 1.5 billion, close to 2 billion people who we can say are interested in South Asian fashion, but none of them have an ability to really like go to a place and discover that fashion. And one part is discovery, and then once you discover that fashion, how do you go and reliably buy it? So that is the high level notion that we always felt, and I was, to be honest, like I was on vacation for a month in Pakistan, and I spent a couple of weeks. I thought I'll put together 10 brands. Amir was connected to a lot of brands anyways. So we put together all brands. We sat in a room, we all were thinking about what should be the name of this product. And my daughter was bugging me, her name is Lamia. And we call her Laam since the day she's born as a nickname. So we were like, okay, let's name it Laam. And we just launched it with 10 products. Uh, and then COVID happened. Like right after a few months, COVID happened, and we saw some of the brands that were online. They told us that they had to shut down their stores. Pakistan was in a lockdown, and they kept on mentioning us that their sales have started relying on Laam a lot more than relying on their physical stores. And we started to feel a bit more responsibility, kind of like, oh, we have a workforce of 20. If you stop giving us orders, we already laid off some of our workforce. We will lay them off too if you stop giving us our orders. And I think that was the pivotal point, to be honest, in my own life when I decided that there is so much impact I can create here that although I'm working in some of the best places in the world, but I would rather want to have an impact on the local community. And that is exactly the point when I decided that I'm going to leave Facebook and I'm going to jump full time on Laam. Just to summarize some of the points I've noticed here, consumer problem, discovery of our South Asian fashion, super hard, reliable purchase is very tough. It's a truly global problem for all the clothes. I'm going to talk about some of that as we move forward. And the other thing that really hit us is in the consumer world. For example, I've worked at Facebook, Microsoft, Pinterest. There is so much innovation and tech that has been done. So whatever you see in your feed, there is like billions different signals and attributes that contribute towards its ranking. But when I look at the fashion tech, to be honest, like, there is not much product and tech innovation that has been done in this area. So that was another motivation that can we put together a team with this one of the guys sitting in this room, Ahmed, who's leading our product engineering, and he used to work with me in Microsoft, and then later on he was leading a team of cloud infrastructure in Oracle. And we put together that team that can really take the fashion tech forward. And when we looked at the vendor side, we realized that if I look at the vendors or people, obviously like Laam is a marketplace, two-sided. Obviously, one side is the consumer, the other side is the vendor. We looked at the vendor, we saw the difference between Pakistani vendor, a local vendor versus a global, like someone in US, and we realized that in that part of the world, they are a lot more tech savvy. They know the terms like, oh, we need to do some acquisition, we need to do some supply chain and all that. Up here, the vendor is not that tech savvy and educated. Customer acquisition is a massive challenge for everybody because people try to run ads or try to do it organic on social, but generally it's very hard, it's very slow, it takes years for it to be successful. Supply chain, fulfillment, online payments are extremely hard to manage. And these are some of the problems that we set out whether we can go and solve or not. So in this 2.5 years that I talked about, if I see today like how far have we moved, we have consumers in 200 plus countries today. We have shipped our products, our local Pakistani products, in 7,500 plus cities in the world in the last 12 months. If I look at like how is divide are, obviously like We have a lot of consumers in Pakistan who are using and discovering and buying fashions. But we have a pretty good presence in North America, Europe, and rest like Middle East and Africa as well. And to be honest, when we look at these numbers, we still feel that the number of people in the world who are interested in this is so massive that we're just scratching the surface here. We are trying to like bring it to as many people as we can. The other thing that has happened from the partner side, today we have close to actually 1,100 different brands vendors on the platform itself. We have the largest or Desi catalog in the world. We have more than 75,000 products today that people come to Laam and discover. And all of them are like hand curated. So these are not like random products that are uploaded because of our crawler running in and injecting them into our system. They are actually curated and verified products that we have on the ecosystem. The 1,000 brands that we have, they have more than 10,000 people working for them today that is relying on Laam orders. So I think this is one of the things that we feel most motivated about, that as we are growing, our vendors are growing and we are creating this massive employment opportunity in the ecosystem as well. Cool. I know this is an open event. A lot of us are coming from tech product backgrounds, so I want to go over some of the fun, cool tech and product things that we are doing. I'm going to walk through some of the consumer side things first, and then I'm going to walk through some of the vendor side things that we are building. So whenever you open up like any catalog, we have like sub-catalogs. For example, this is the summer 2022 catalog. Whenever you open up any catalog on Laam, there's a lot of work going on in the back end. If you are a consumer and as soon as we build up your profile, we try to make it more personalized for you. But at the same time, we use a lot of localized signals, and we use a lot of global signals as well. Obviously, this is a journey in fashion tech that we are still in the early days on, but we have set up the right foundation and we have set up the right team to be able to consistently improve and bring people to the right product that they are looking for as quickly as we can. And similar, some of the things are essentially the cutting edge technology that Amazon and some of the other companies have used in their recommendations. We are trying to utilize the similar things up here as well and going one notch up for our South Asian fashion. The other thing that we are doing is that we are playing a lot with AI. We're playing a lot with visual understanding of the product. So this is something that we launched, I think, around 6-9 months ago, which is visual similarity. And we are working on a lot of cutting edge things. So, for example, the product that you're looking at, we deeply understand it, we segment it, we take out all the sub pieces out of it, and then try to match the patterns as well. Embroidery clothing. So, embroidery clothing and other parts as well. And again, this is still in early days of the product. We are consistently improving, building the right tech and foundation to do that. Then I want to walk over some of the vendor side of things that we have done. One is obviously their digital online presence. So everybody who comes to Laam, they get like a very nice store. And a lot of our SMBs, what they do is that they end up linking that store to their Instagram and Facebook page as well. So it's the digital presence where anybody can come in and buy from all across the world. We realize that supply chain is a massive problem and forecasting and production is a massive problem. We are trying to solve them through technology. I'll show you some pieces in the following slide. Warehousing has been a challenge, so we have created a very real-time tech-based warehouse where any product that you send, you're getting like real-time updates about where the product is. If it's in transit, if it's in a particular shelf in the warehouse, you will get deep information about it. We are solving digital payments for them, so they don't have to think about it. At the end of the month, or after every 15 days, that they get a payment in their bank account. So like in terms of the vendor product, this is like a snapshot I took this morning from our app. So every vendor, like small vendor, they get this view of how their product is doing, and they get real-time feedback of it. So for example, if somebody launches a product, they would have an idea, they would want to get an idea whether consumers are liking it or not liking it. So when a vendor launches it on Laam, we really give them as simple of a view as possible for all the feedback, and we try to get as much feedback as we can. And we make it simple for them so they are able to consistently learn and grow and get their products better. We give them a lot of analytics and predictions. One of the things that I realized when I jumped full-time on Laam is that supply chain and estimates of how much production you need to do is a massive problem. We are again trying to solve it through technology and machine learning models. We will try to predict for you like how much based on seasonality and based on historical patterns, how much more production you will do. And we have created a lot of like such analytics and predictions to give them access. I provide like some snapshot, but they have a lot more that they can get. We are working on fashion, South Asian fashion tech future. I'm showing you some basic models here. So essentially, we take a South Asian fashion image, and then we are able to like determine a lot of interesting things. So, for example, like there have been a lot of classifiers built for the Western fashion tech. Oh, this is a T-shirt versus a dress, but we have done it for like we have an understanding. This is a kurta shalwar versus a gharara, sharara, and all of that. So we are trying to incorporate all of that. And once we have incorporated all of that, all the product that you see at the bottom is essentially are generated by AI. So essentially, we have trained models that are able to like generate our South Asian fashion design. And our idea is that all the vendors that are along can use that to be able to like inspire on what kind of products they're looking for. Yeah, this is about it. We cool. Are we take questions or?
Let's take a couple
Yeah.
of questions.
All right.
I don't need the microphone, do I?
No,
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Sarah Khan, and I talked to you during the exhibition session. And we have a partner in Africa that provides Laam, ware, and Zakir, and other Pakistani products to the African Nigerian marketplace. Now we see some problems. I bought the notes along with me, but I didn't realize that I have such a delightful surprise in you. So my question will be brief, to the point, and very deep. How can you help us link up African sales for Pakistan retail, allowing promotion marketing, Facebook, Instagram link up, and cross-platform linkage? How can you help us in these things? Because certainly this is the answer that I saw. The other answer is just asking you, hiring you, and telling you to do it for us.
It's a great question because one of the things that we have seen is that the demand of our local people don't realize how much Pakistani fashion products are loved all across the world. There are some supply chain and shipping problems that needs to be solved to be able to do a really good job there. We are still in the early days. We rely on direct consumer shipping today, which we're trying to solve and figure out like how can we do it on a bigger scale. And then also like linking of catalogs with the local partners as well. We have recently started a program, which I think you are already connected with Ali. So we have very recently started a program that is focused on that part, but we are still like very infancy, early days. But our idea is that as a tech company, try to move fast and really grow. So I would love to connect with you afterwards and talk
Inshallah.
about it.
Looking forward.
Want to take another question? One more question.
Hi, my name is Ali and I am a student from LAAM. So my question is how the last mile delivery, the issue of the last mile delivery affects LAAM and specifically its sales in Pakistan.
Yeah, so we work with a lot of partners for last mile delivery. LAAM does not own or does the delivery. What we ended up doing is that we ended up developing a software that's analyzing their performance. And our software is able to route traffic towards last mile city where some local partner is doing well. We are connected with I think 6 and we are adding 2 more connections. So we have like 8 local carriers where we are monitoring. Our software is monitoring their performance and we are able to navigate the traffic. I know this has been discussed a lot as a problem in the last few years, but to be honest, if I look at our courier partners now, they have matured a lot in the last 2-3 years. And the other thing is that fashion is not something that someone is with groceries like I want in 45 minutes or 1 hour. People are okay with getting it next day. People are okay with getting it a couple of days for if you are in like different cities. So it's not that big of a challenge for us with the partners and then just improving and we are monitoring the KPI and with our software we are shifting the so we are working with them and we really hope they will continue to elevate the way they have elevated. Cool. Thank you so much.